Yellow. The spirit world is terrifying. To put this into perspective, the spirit world controls everything. 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 You think you have power? No. The only thing you have power over is your own attitude. You don't have power. You don't have anything. That one time your voice had an inflection that was weird. It completely changed the vibe, and the conversation ended just like that. You no longer got to talk to that pretty girl. For some reason, your face just went weird. You didn't even notice it. You didn't even notice why she rejected you. The vibe just changed for some reason, and the conversation ended. It got stagnant, it got weird. Have you noticed how, no matter how hard you try, there's something within you that inhibits you from anything that is not your path? Even something simple like a punch. You know, the body mechanics, but even then, for some reason, why'd I get stiff doing that? Why am I so tense? Everything in this reality is very simple. And God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, it will not reward you unless you are worthy. If you dedicate yourself to something, if you prove yourself to be committed to something, if you're resolute, you will earn your worthiness in that given area, and it's almost as if life just starts to get out of your way. Things start to look a lot simpler, more effortless, and things just kind of happen for you from there on out. God controls everything. That weird vibe you had talking to that pretty girl, the reason why it ended, everything is regulated by the spirit world. The vibe, everything. If you keep trying, if you get rejected a bunch of times, if you ask with respect, you'll eventually just get something. God will give you someone. It's if you have a good attitude about it, if you're not a bitter, hurt, projecting individual, if you're not needy, if you just ask nicely, and you just have faith and you try, you'll always get someone. But that's just an analogy for the bigger picture. That's true for everything. If you are not disciplined, if you are not proving yourself to be worthy to something, if you're not committing intentionally, if you don't have intentionality towards a given path, you'll be deemed unworthy. A perfect example of someone who makes things look effortless is Khabib Nurmagomedov. And what's his life? Allah in training. That's it. That's it. Allah in training. No anything, no nothing, no nothing. Nothing else. He beat everyone because his life was Allah in training, and he made it look easy because of it. He looked effortless. He was relaxed. He looked comfortable. God not only got out of his way, but he got into his opponent's heads all the same. The spirit world did. I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds like, has this guy lost it? But everyone is terrified. Emotionally, energetically, they're all terrified of Khabib. They got in their way. Those who were less worthy, the spirit world got in their way. They were not as confident, even in the micro details in a game of inches. They were stifled. Meanwhile, Khabib beats them to every transition. He schools them. He makes them look like they don't even belong in there. And what's the reality, though? What is the reality? Anyone can learn any technique. It's simple. Most of the most effective techniques are very simple. The best techniques are very simple. Anyone can learn them. But to drill it into your body and to not get in your own way, to not make that mistake, to not make mistakes, that's the hard part. That's the reality. Trust me. If you have faith, if you believe in God, or whatever, the spirit world, if you prove yourself worthy to the universe, things start to get out of your way. You start to sound a lot better. You start to become more confident, you start to look more relaxed, you start to make the things that are simple look simple and effortless. And this is true regardless of arena. The spirit world, it controls everything. Everything. And the more you prove yourself to be worthy, the more you devote yourself to a given faith, whether it's Christianity, Islam, Judaism. If you believe in a higher power, if you show respect to it, you have a tendency of doing better. Things just seem to get out of your way. On those simple details, things just get out of the way. And when it comes to love, it's the same philosophy. Distance does not exist. We are all connected. One way or another. We are all connected. If you show yourself to be worthy, the connection just happens all by itself. Things move out of the way. Yup. This reality isn't so complicated. Understanding it is. Understanding reality is a venture into infinity. But when it comes to execution, simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. It's just we mortals have a tendency of getting in our own way. And how do we get in our own way? We don't respect the spirit world. There's a correlation between this increased rate of mental health issues plaguing our era and our lack of faith, our lack of respect, our lack of gratitude. The vibe with everyone. Everyone's vibe is bad. But trust me, regardless of arena, even using love as a metaphor, it's much easier to find when you have faith.